each of our panelists will give their perspective on built environment and just giving their sort of stated ideas of what they think about why is this important from the built environment perspective, from their respective point of view. So
I'm the AFL Stadium Development Manager and essentially responsible for all stadium development that goes on in the AFL, from club facilities up to elite facilities. One of my biggest projects, and one that has lots of my blood, sweat and tears in it, is Metricon Stadium, so something that we, the AFL, are really proud of. We built a 25,000 seat, 27,000 capacity stadium. We think it's one of the most intimate fan experiences in the country. In fact, this is not only a product of some of the design team's great work, but also the operations guys up there at the GC Suns. It was voted #1 for fan experience around the AFL in its first 2 years, both of its first 2 years. The fan feedback we get is amazing, and we think that it really has added to the chance that someone's going to go to the football because they're having a great fun time at Metricon. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the environmental features that have gone into this stadium. We've done some really good stuff up there, and something that we're really proud of. What I'm going to focus on today is some of the strong sustainable scope elements, both functionally and visually. We've put in solar panels, which I'll spend quite a bit of time talking about. We've got rainwater capture and reuse. We utilise some LED lighting throughout the facility where we're able to. We reuse some existing infrastructure, which is probably the best way of contributing to an environmental outcome, is actually reusing what's already been built. And all environmental sustainable design infrastructure is clearly visible to the public when they come along. And I think that's one of the key areas where we can make a difference. So we're an example to people, just like Greg Swan would say, a player makes a huge difference to influencing and the heroes of kids. I think that a public building is sort of as large as this and as public as this also can create a difference to people, and so if they can do it, we can do it in our home.
Yeah, I'm Natalie Reynolds, as the slide says. I'm the CEO of FSC Australia. Now, you can see a logo in the top left-hand corner. Who recognises it? This is going to be interesting. Yep, down the back, 1. We've got a room of 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that actually reflects about the percentage of brand recognition that we've actually measured in this country. And I can probably bet where you've probably seen the logo. It'll be on a ream of paper, it'll be on some toilet paper, some Kimberley-Clark toilet paper, it might be on some ABC toilet paper, it might be on timber. Anything that comes from a forest can possibly be certified to FSC. But what is it? Well, way back in the early 90s, you'll remember all of the issues about deforestation in places like Borneo and things like that. I think most people in the room are old enough to remember all of those things that occurred. And way back when it was decided, it was really clear that deforestation, to the extent that was occurring in the world, meant that we would not have enough resources to sustain us beyond 2050. Now, even WWF have done some research, and they said that if we continue to procure timber and paper materials now, we'll need 1.5 extra planets to support us by that date. So what we needed to do is make sure that we made a connection between the product, the piece of paper that's in front of you, the magazine, the wood that's in your tables, the product and where it came from, and making sure that the forest was managed sustainably. But I want to throw a challenge out to you. The London Olympics, the entire village was FSC certified. The entire thing. They wanted to ensure that there was not going to be serious issues in terms of illegal logging issues or environmental backlash, in terms of making sure that where products came from was actually considered in the sustainability and decision making. It's a very simple thing to do.
All right, I've heard a lot of you guys today talk about green. We're going green, we're going green. Well, in the States, going green really lost any meaning whatsoever because everybody was going green, from your laundry detergent to your nail polish to your t-shirt to your baseball team. Well, a good friend of mine has defined green for us, and I've really I have stopped using that. We're greening. Okay, green exists in nature. We can't get back there. Greening is changing your business operations to get back to it as close as you can. So if you take a look at 2007, We were doing some recycling. We've always recycled since we opened the ballpark. But we were sending a lot of stuff to the landfill. We would send our recycling compactors out. Oh, it's contaminated. We had to put it in the landfill. Oh, it's contaminated. I wasn't buying that. So between the 2007-2008 season, we found another provider to take out recycling, and we had immediate impacts. You can see the drop we had in 2008. Cut it down. 2011, we had a little tick up because we had some major events besides baseball games. We have 81 baseball games a year. We had a concert with 32,000 people, and we also had a winter festival between November and January, where we would put 2 hockey rinks, a quarter-mile skating track on the field itself, and also 10 toboggan chutes from the top of the bleachers down to second base. So we had a lot more people coming in. We had to make snow, and we used a lot of water for that. So that's the uptick there. But holy shnikes, take a look at 2012. That's a pretty good drop-off. We're under 400 tons. All right? Here's the payoff, and here's where I really got a lot of credibility. This is trash hauls. Okay? So how many times a garbage man comes to Progressive Field and takes a 36-yard compactor full of trash in the landfill? 254 in 2007, 59 last year.
My role is coordinator of sports venues with the City of Greater Geelong and manager of Simonds Stadium. In particular today we'll talk about Simonds Stadium and the Kidinia Park precinct. And it's from a council perspective. One of the questions Sheila put on the table was why sport should consider the environmental contributions, and realistically it's a matter of increasing our water and energy efficiencies across the board, and that's not only Simonds Stadium, Kidinia Park, but it's all other facilities as well, and 2 of the smaller facilities that I coordinate are just recreational facilities, but it's certainly a key for us to make sure we meet that criteria. Promoting sustainability awareness, reducing the landfill waste and carbon footprint, obviously that's a key. Capacity to increase the capture of recyclable materials, which I believe we're doing. We could all do better, but I believe that Simonds Stadium, Kidinia Park is doing well so far. Initiatives assisting in maximising the social benefits. So obviously that's ensuring that our patrons, the community across the board are aware of what's happening, why, and making sure we've got a clear education process.
So we sort of spearhead a lot of the engagements from a sports standpoint, both from the strategic side and the sponsorship and sort of the brand building side. You know, we work with the Phoenix Open. We work with third-party certifiers as a council responsible sport that's working on different sustainability third-party certifications. We've worked with them. Some of our team members are actually sit on the advisory commission to help, you know, draft policy and make sure it's going in the right direction. Major League Baseball, like I'm not sure how many stadiums we work with now, but I think it might be close to 15 just in Major League Baseball. You know, here's some, you know, accomplishments that they have. You know, they're always focusing on, you know, diverted tons and recycling rates and things like that. Working with tournaments and rather than just a particular venue. If anyone's familiar with our collegiate in the United States, the NCAA, the Final Four is collegiate basketball, and essentially it's a large national tournament that plays out in regions in multiple venues all across the country, and it culminates in one last for the 4 teams. And so we partner with NRDC there to do a fan awareness and engagement campaign over the course of an entire weekend. It's a sort of a very, you know, it's a big event. It lasts over several days, so we did all kinds of, you know, recycling incentive programs and education and outreach. And of course, I mentioned the Green Sports Alliance. This is, you know, another group that's, you know, trying to push sustainability in the world of sport.
NBA Green is our league-wide program. It's really built on 2 things: generate awareness and generate funds, really for the environment and its protection. We want to, in partnership with the same partner that Waste Management does with the National Resource Defense Council, the league and its teams and our players are really trying to take a forward step. And what can we do as a business to create awareness? And that's generally what we do. We can't produce solar panels You know, we don't own, you know, waste management, dump trucks and things of that nature, but what we can do is use our most important asset, like I said, the player, have him or WNBA players have her be the messengers of this platform and say, this is pretty important. We'd love for you to follow us or to contribute with us hand in hand in your market or nationally or globally in bringing awareness to this area. What you'll find with NBA Green is that it was started in 2007. We did it in conjunction with NRDC, and we created a lot of different initiatives in terms of things that we can do. So we don't profess to know a lot about this area, so we try to partner with organizations that have shared values, share the same type of approach that we do. So as an organization, we can't initially know everything we need to know, so we find the right partner to do that. NRDC has been able to do that, so we've been able to really come into this really educated about it and be able to really put together a winning effort. It's all 30 teams, their uniforms, if you didn't know. We press Adidas, and all teams wear Adidas Revolution uniforms, which are made from 60% of recycled materials. We continue to look at ways to improve our technology and our product. A lot of our floors are made through recycled wood, and we even have developed with Spalding a recyclable basketball that's made out of different types of materials. It's not something on the market, but it's something that we've done, and we continue to try to figure out how can we improve in that space. All our teams are involved in ongoing greening efforts. We try to build into our operations. They include all our teams requiring to utilize supplies that have this distinction of the seal of approval that we use with NRDC. We promote mass transit. We are implementing recycling programs, installing energy and waste-saving fixtures, and we actually purchase energy credits in a lot of our stadiums to promote, you know, to offset the carbon footprint here, as well as each of our teams are required to host green-related activities. If you didn't know, each team has in-market a green initiative that they have that they're required to do as part of their business strategy. We host an activity called Green Week, which is in conjunction with NBA D-League Green Week, which is going on right now. If you guys go to the web, you can check that out. In particular, we've had a couple of teams install energy stations in their arenas as a part of a concept the Portland Trailblazers came up with called Taking Charge, or Take a Charge. Basketball pun, you get it? And we've been able to really build that into our business.